I was pleased with the way we functioned in our no huddle. We played a lot of no huddle tonight. I was pleased with the way we were able to get in and out of that. And obviously Colt was really sharp, and we were making some plays. Von Drill, he got twisted down there and was a little bit concerned. But I thought for the first time to be the starter out there, he did a really good job. And he and Chris, bring different things to the table. Chris obviously made the great catch out of the backfield, and he's about as good as there is coming out of the backfield with his hands, and also in blitz pickup. I was really disappointed right before half. We had a chance to go and work in a 2-minute situation, and we had a mental mistake on third down and didn't allow us to keep the drive going. So I was really disappointed in that. We challenged the offense to come out in the third quarter. We were going to get the ball, and they responded, and we were able to go put a touchdown the first series of the third quarter. So overall, we played without any turnovers. We had several explosive plays, and so for an opening ball game, I was pleased. There's a lot of things we have to work on to get where we want to get. Well, it was in the game plan to do whatever it took. Several of those, he had 12 rushes, but probably 4 of those was leaving the pocket situations. The other ones were probably some kind of zone read situations where, he pulled the ball and made several good plays. In fact, I just noticed he had 100 yards rushing. So. Yeah, we worked really hard in the red zone in the off season in summer camp, and we were able to play a lot of people, and that helps you down the road because now they've been out there. James Kirkendall, came back, made a big play at the end of the game on a nice throw from John, and every time Malcolm Williams played really well his first time out, and so the more people you can get involved and they can gain some confidence, it just helps you down the road.
What's that?
Did you get hurt out there?
No, I didn't get on the field.
No, it's for a first game, your defense seemed to be opportunistic. First half, with some turnovers and shutting down in the second half. Can you kind of talk about?
Well, we obviously made some mistakes in the first half. It was very visible. Third down was critical. We didn't perform as well on third down as we would have liked, but going in the game, we knew we were going to. Those are some situations we've got to make sure our communication against a quarterback that when he sees something, he's going to hit it. And we obviously made some mistakes. We got to be very technical in those, correcting those mistakes, and watching the film and make a lot of improvement from game 1 to game 2. That's the bottom line. We're not satisfied. We came out in the second half and played a little bit better. We created the lead, and they kind of shut it down. So, and we're realistic to what happened there. So, obviously, some mistakes, missed tackle, a couple busts on the back end that we just got to get corrected, and we will be technical about it and move on.
Will, what was the key to clamping down on the pass in the second half?
Really with all the slide protection, what they do protection-wise, they eliminate a lot of pressure, so you end up guessing a lot. And really the big play they hit in the first half, we pressured. They maxed it, and that's when they hit Gint, the X, when you get middle field. When you gave them middle field, they're going to shoot the ball to the X. So we stayed doubled on him most of the game. That was the one time we weren't. And to make them work front side with the ball, we gave up the one big play there. But other than that, in the second half, we just made some adjustments in their 12 personnel package that they did at halftime. We changed up what we were doing a little bit to help us out. That's what they went to late in the second quarter on the one drive where they drove down before half. And that was all 12 personnel, and they did a good job of executing, and we didn't. So we made some adjustments as far as that's concerned, but nothing other than that. We just stayed out of the pressure because of the protections and because of the single coverage on the X.
Like your tackling there second half?
Yeah, we did. I mean, really, we missed the one tackle on our sideline. Other than that, we were pretty clean with the tackling, which for a first game, first games and bowl games are always the same. You're always worried about how the tackling will be in a live situation, and they have good skilled people, and I felt like that we were pretty crisp in leveraging the ball right way and being in the right spots in the run game. We had a couple of runs come out late, but we're not worried about that.
You said earlier this week you thought that the first game of the season was in some type of set stone for the whole season. So, 52 to take away. How do you feel about that?
I think that's great. and I did say that, setting the tone. That's coming straight from the top from Coach Brown. We were focused. We had a great fall camp. For us, offensively, going against these guys every day makes us that much better. We just wanted to come out and do what they told us to do, just play the game. Coach Davis says that all the time, and I felt like overall we executed well. There's still a lot of things we can fix, but overall, I think we're pleased.
Well, we'll watch the film. Obviously, we made some mistakes, and we knew that going in the game. We told them that the effort's on them and the execution's on us, so we got to do a better job coaching in those situations, get them in better situations, and that's what we'll do, and that's on me. So we'll just be real technical when we watch the film on the things we got to make corrections. They always say your most improvements from game 1 to game 2, and we need to improve.
Coach, anything Coach Schnellenberger had to say before this week have any extra motivation for this team to perform tonight?
Honestly, we're just focused on ourselves, getting better. We know the talent that we have. We know we have a lot of young guys, and we were just focused on executing, coming out and playing. And offensively, for sure, that's what we did.
You heard what he said, right?
Yeah, we don't listen to things like that. We sit in our locker room and know how good we can be, and we just wanted to come out and perform. Like I said, we made a few mistakes, but we also did a lot of good things. So I like what we did. We just got to keep getting better every week.
Cole, it looked like when you got hit out of bounds, you ended up right next to Vince. Is that the case when you?
Well, I did get hit out of bounds a couple times. I compete really hard, so when I get out of bounds, I don't really know what's going on. I just want to get back on the field and keep going. I guess if Vince was right there, he was probably talking trash to the other guys too. I don't know.
On your last drive, you carried like 4 straight times, and on the last one, it looked like you had a little limp there.
Yeah, I cramped up a little bit.
I mean, Greg, did you get?
That's because I had all day in the pocket. I wanted to go back there and just start dancing, but they dropped so many guys deep, and I think they probably had 6 or 7 guys in the end zone on that play. So I was just trying to make something happen, and offensively, the offensive line did a tremendous job tonight. The times that I scrambled, it was just because they dropped so many guys deep. Just go ahead and make a few yards with my feet, and that's what I did. So give credit to those guys. They've worked so hard. They've come a long ways, and I thought tonight they executed really well.
Well, again, I think that, I always try to use past judgment till we watch the film. I can think of individual plays where I thought they showed up on the tight end screen in the first half for a young safety to recognize and see that it's an outstanding play. I thought we tackled well in the open field. I thought we leveraged the ball right in the run game several times. And like the players and the coaches, we all made some mistakes in our first run through this, and we're looking forward for improvement in the second game.
Talk a little bit about the pass rush. I know a lot of 3-step drops. It's not hard to get to them, but were you happy with the times you got?
Yeah, I thought we got good pressure at times. Everybody wants to look at pressuring the quarterback and count sacks. That has nothing to do with it. That's part of it. But resetting the quarterback, doing a good job disguising, giving give them a good coverage on the back end, and I kept telling Rack and those guys, you guys are getting frustrated with all the slide protection and the ball's out quick. We just keep pushing the pocket, and eventually later in the game we started getting through and getting more penetration.
Greg, is Blaine Irby the number 3 receiver you've been looking for?
Well, Blaine really had a good opener. As you know, our tight end is a big part of what we do, especially if people are zoning us, and they zoned us quite a bit tonight. We expect him to find open lanes in there, and I thought for the first game to start, not only did he catch the ball well, but from what I could see upstairs, he did a nice job blocking on the perimeter. We had several runs around his side, so Blaine is going to be he's going to be along the lines of what we've played with. He can stretch the field. We've got to constantly work on his blocking, but he's a competitor, and I think he'll get better in that part of it.
3 more questions for this group.
Brian, how did you feel running Will's defense? And can you talk about that 4th down stop?
That's Texas's defense.
I got a question. Wow. It was good. Coach Muschamp had a great game plan coming in, and it was a great stop. I guess this one time it was a quarterback sneak, and we just check sneak and try to get some penetration. Roy and Lamar, D tackles did a great job, clogging them holes up for us, and making a huge stop for us to get our offense back on and hopefully put up some points. So it was a great team effort.
I'd like to hear from both players on how you feel about going to UTEP, going on the road for a game against the Miners.
Oh, man. All I know is it's a late game, and just got to be prepared for a 9 o'clock game Mountain Time, I guess. But right now we're just over here trying to, get over this win and just have some fun with this win, and we're going to, start getting into that game plan later on. But right now we're just focusing on this.
Ever been there?
No. Actually, I have not.
Every season our goals are to win every game when we play somebody in Texas. So, they're another Texas team, and we want to go up there and play the best we can. And we know it's a late game. It'll be a fun trip for us, so we're excited. We're going to celebrate this one tonight and then start working on them tomorrow.
One last question.
Well, for a first game, how would you 100 and whatever rushing, 200 something passing? Pretty good?
I guess it's okay. It's what offensively we wanted to come out and do tonight. We wanted to come out and execute and do all the things that we practiced all fall, and we wanted to come out and play like we ended last year. And I would say that we did that pretty effectively.
Thanks, gang. Coach Brown, right in. How we doing with Jackson? Say hey to Coach. Y'all doing good? How are you? Congratulations. Dag did good, huh? Congratulations, Will.
Yes, offered early. Really pleased, great win, probably our best opener. I think they've got a really good football team. I was as impressed with Rusty Smith tonight as I was on film. They're big, they're quick, and I was really, really pleased with the way we started the game. Not as pleased with the end of the first half with a couple of explosives out of a no-huddle for them. It looked like the remnants of some of the games last year, but then they came back and played a great second half, especially starting with a lot of enthusiasm and toughness to get the game out of reach in the early third quarter. But pleased with this team. They played tonight like they've practiced. Colt looked great. We didn't have a turnover. John Childs has obviously improved as a quarterback and in the passing game. Both running backs did well. Thought Cody Johnson did some good things at the end of the game. Pleased with Malcolm Williams. He made some good catches. James Kirkendall had a couple. Blaine Irby stepped up. Thought the whole defense played well after the young secondary got settled at halftime. When our coaches had a chance to get in and settle them down, it was really good. And the kicking game was really, really good except for the kickoff coverage there a couple of times in the right before the half and early third quarter. So giving up big plays, giving up some third down plays, and only kickoff coverage about all I've got that we're not pleased with. And we got a lot of things we can improve because it's such a young team.
Because 1 4th down stop might not seem much in a game like this that got out of hand, but just the point that came early in the second half.
Well, it's a huge point. Last year it was 21-3 against Arkansas State, and instead of stopping them on 4th down, we let them make it by 6 inches. So I thought it was huge. I thought the interception in the end zone, the fumble as they were moving the ball, or the turnover game is huge for us, and I'm sure we won the explosives and we rushed for over 240 yards or something. So all those things that make a difference in games, I thought we did well tonight.
Nick, you pretty much accomplished everything you wanted to in the first game?
Well, we did. We've got to go back and look at the explosives on third down because there were too many, especially early. And then we've got to look at why we were out of some lanes on kickoff coverage. And I thought other than that, we probably played a near-perfect opener for us.
Mac, I think that y'all had 7 openers where you scored more than 50. So why is this one the best that you've ever
I think this is the best team. I said that before, but I'm really impressed with this. I think it's probably the best team we've played in an opening game, including NC State, because NC State's offense wasn't any good at that time. We just shouldn't have punted. Should have faked them all and we'd have won the game, even out of our end zone.
So it was a competition that made it good then?
Yes, I thought so. And it's I think that, this team won 8 games last year, went to a bowl game and won their conference championship. We haven't played a team like that in an opener. And again, they got 8 seniors on defense, and they've quarterback and 16 will be playing on Sundays. They're both really good players.
Is the whole idea of toughness, is that something that you pay attention to or you can gauge? I know that was kind of mentioned in some of the leading to this team.
Do you know, we played tonight like we did in the bowl game. So there's been a huge carryover from then. We were tough in the bowl game. We got after them. And one of the points of emphasis was to start this year better than we did last year. We finished last year right. We didn't start it right, and really the first 3 or 4 games. I'm sure Florida Atlantic was excited after watching our Arkansas State game last year and watching our Central Florida game where we'd get ahead and then settle down. And we wanted this group to finish tonight, and they did. There were some guys in there at the end that have never seen the field, and they were still playing hard, and I was proud of them.
Matt, can you talk about Colt running the football tonight?
Colt did a great job. We wanted John to throw it more and throw it better, and we wanted Colt to run it better and more, and both of those things were accomplished. I thought Colt played as good a game as I've ever seen him tonight. He was just unbelievable, and that's the way he's looked in spring, and that's the way he looked in camp. So we're really excited about where he is right now and very confident, and John obviously is throwing the ball better. He came in and made some plays with his feet, but when he starts throwing it and people spread out a little bit, it'll be much easier for him to make plays with his feet.
Safeties, Earl had the big deflection for the pick and had the block punt later.
Yeah, it was. I thought poor Will and Dwayne were going to go crazy there on the sideline. No, line up, wider. No, back up, move up. They just they were coaching them. I thought we needed a megaphone because it was wearing my ears out as we were doing that. But they listened and they got better and better and better, and they're tough. And what an experience for a guy like Blake Gideon to start in his first football game in college at the University of Texas. And Earl and Christian both. And then I look up and see true freshman Nolan Brewster out there at the end with freshman Ben Welch. So we got a lot of young guys out there that got a world of experience tonight, and they just need to continue with that next week.
Mac, a lot of people think Will Muschamp may be the best defensive coordinator in the country. How would you grade his first game?
I thought he did great. It's not, you all want it to be about a guy. It's not. 4 guys did a great job preparing that defense. And when Will meshed so well with the other 3, and I think Dwayne Akina needs a tremendous amount of credit. Blocked another kick. That's 49. That's the most for anybody in the country since he's been here, or since 2000, I think. And at the same time, I don't think there's any question Will is really, really good at what he does, and that's why we hired him. And he is doing what we asked him to do and what we hired him to do. He's high energy. He's smart. He's a guy that the kids believe in, but he also meshed with the other 3 coaches so well, Kirk. I think that's a key to coaching. You can't just walk in and take over and kick everybody out and say it's my deal, and he hasn't done that. He has been a great staff person. He and Greg have meshed together well, and that's really helped us too, because a lot of the things Florida Atlantic did tonight we do with our offense, and it was easy to work against good speed guys.
This offseason, some people, myself included, wrote that it didn't seem like I'll have a whole lot of explosive weapons on offense. Do you think that got disproven a bit today?
What do you think? I think it did too. I just let you write and try not to read it. One thing is, I get to see it more than you all do, though. So that much. Colt's real fast. We said that. John Childs is real fast, and we tried to get John more as a weapon, and we'll continue to build him in as one. I said Vondrell McGee runs 4.3. I mean, he's really fast for 210 pounds, and he didn't. I think he carried it 12 times tonight, but every time he gets it, he's got a chance. Chris Obanai showed really good speed and quickness tonight. Fozzie didn't play. But you start looking at Quan, Jordan, James Kirkendall, Malcolm can fly around 500 meters or something. So I think we just want them all to be Roy Williams. And when we don't see Roy or Limas out there, we panic. So I think they all did a good job.
Coach McGee, did he help you kind of get off to a good start today?
Yes, he's a very powerful runner, but he's got the great speed. And he's a 4-yard runner, and we have this little slogan, get 4, and then you'll start getting more. And he's a guy that can do that for us. And I thought the offensive line played really well. Colt didn't get touched but once, I don't think. In fact, I don't think we had a sack, and one quarterback draw that John had might look like a sack, but it was a quarterback draw, and I don't know if they'll count that a sack or not. I'm sorry? Ryan had a little pull, so he had struggled some this last week, and we did not want to put him in there if it was something long. So we started Hunter, and Hunter's done a great job. He hadn't missed one in probably camp. And then we let Ryan kick one at the end of the day, and hopefully Ryan will keep doing better. And I thought Jonathan Gold was super. What for the first time to walk in that stadium to punt, I don't know what his average was, but he was turning it over and kicking it deep. And then when we had a little wind, Justin kicked it out, and the couple of times we were kicking into the wind, he had it to the goal line. So I think we're probably better there than we've been. We didn't get a chance to get a punt, but we did block one. And Dwayne told the kids last night we were going to block one. He said, I promise you, if you'll do what I tell you to do, you'll block one. And he did. And that might have been the most excitement I saw him all night. So that's something that we needed to do. And the fake field goal led to a score. The block punt led to a score. So you got to get scores in a lot of different ways when people aren't turning the ball over very much. And they did a great job with their protections. They were slide protection. They were turn back protection. They were quick protection. They rolled the quarterback like we knew they were. So it was really hard to get to him. I thought he had the wind and he was too excited and overkicked it, and that's what we told him. If he'll just use his leg and not try to do more than that, he'll be fine. So, and that's part of a freshman walking out there for the first time.
Mac, leaving Colt in the game into the fourth quarter, were you working on some stuff there? You're up 30. I don't know. What
that might be the Tim. No. We don't even get cramps. Well, I thought he did great, and I think we played him a minute in the fourth quarter, and we usually take him out at the end of the third. I didn't want to take him out at the 15-yard line when we had a drive going. So, but we've always left him in. We've left him in through the third quarter ever since we've been here.
Matt, did your defense have you just a little bit scared on those first two drives, the way they were moving down?
Yes, but no. I knew they were that good. And what we tried to do was figure out what their game plan was going to be. And it was obvious early in the game they weren't going to try to protect against us. They were going to slide. They were going to move. They were going quick. They were going to boot. And then try to take some deep shots to get to us. But I really felt like that was the kind of night it was going to be. I would have thought the score, if we played as well as we did on offense, would have been 52-35, because that's how powerful they've been on offense. They averaged 31 points a game last year and scored 20 at Florida, scored 43 against Minnesota. So they were a team that can score points.
How much did it do for the confidence, though, that you got those two turnovers at the end of those two drives?
Well, it was great because I think we saw that in the second half. And that's when I thought we grew up a little bit on defense. And hopefully that'll carry over to next week.
You never know how young players are going to respond in a game. I know they practice well, but how relieved were you that they played so well when it was also
well, Will and I and Dwayne talked a lot about that last night, especially with the young safeties. And we said once we had Dre Bly, who became an All-American as a freshman and had 16 interceptions at North Carolina. And they had played well against a good offense in camp. So we really felt like that all we could judge it on that they were going to play well. And we did not think they would get nervous in the stadium because we'd been in there enough. So we really felt like they would play well. Now, the busted assignments being too wide against speed, Florida Atlantic was good enough with their passing game. If they got you out of position, they could burn you. And Coach Stellenberger's been around a long time, and Gary Nord. They really know what they're doing on offense. So we felt like that they would take advantage of some alignment mistakes probably. But there's so many things in that first half that said that we can coach from, I think, that will really help us for next week.
Matt, can you talk about Blaine Irby?
Yeah, I thought he played great. Blaine was one of the real pleasant surprises probably for you all. Again, we've seen him do that in camp. He can run. He can catch. He was an academic All-American, tough. It'll be interesting to see how well he blocked, but I think all of them must have blocked really well because there were a lot of things there for us that we could have gotten. But we were pleased with his hands. He made a couple of great catches.
When you all have what you need from Coach Brown, you do have players in the breakout room now.
Tim.
How about Max Colt starting with 19 for 20?
Yes, I thought it's probably as good as he's been. You know, and that's the other reason we wanted him to finish well. And we were trying to send a message that we need to finish better than we did last year, and we don't want to say, okay, it's starting the fourth quarter, let's stop. And that's why we let John throw the ball more tonight. We need to send a message that we're going to play 60 minutes again and not pull up and stop halfway through. We have got to finish games better than we did last year.
So many young guys, could you have drawn it up much better for so many first guys to step up in the first
I thought it was great. I thought it was great for their confidence. And there's enough things, Jimmy, that we can fix that they need to work on. So we really felt like that it was the perfect opener for us.
You talked about your time at North Carolina. First time in 14 years, I think you're going back to El Paso next week. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm on the other sideline. They said that El Paso's got the home sideline. That's where we were in Texas, was on the other sideline. So El Paso will be a great trip for us. I'm a great friend of Mike Price. I know the boys. They've been here to visit. I thought the TCU game last year, being in state and about the state of Texas, was so great for us. I thought when we played at the Alamo Bowl a couple of years ago that it was so much fun for so many fans to get to come to a Texas game that hadn't seen us play before. And Mike's done a great job at El Paso, and they're having great crowds out there. So I think it'll be a great game for us. They will have a super challenge, but I'm excited about it. National TV, full house. They're talking about it. The Sun Bowl people I saw at the Big 12 meeting said it'll be the most exciting game probably in the history of that school and that stadium, and that's fun for us. And they weren't pleased with their game Thursday night, so I'm sure they're pumped. They're already talking about Texas, and that's what we expect when we travel.
How much more confident are you about the knowledge of your players now that you have seen them play the game, not just the safeties, but everybody?
Well, we think that we're better than we might have thought going in. The young guys responded well, but this team is meshed well. The chemistry is good, and we feel like that right now that with that attitude, they won't walk out of this game thinking they're great. This team will have an attitude that they'll find out in the morning what they need to work on and start working immediately to get better.
Okay.
Anything else? Thank you all. Have a good night.